So welcome to this week's meditation atelier. We're doing a 7-week series. I keep forgetting what it is. A 7 or 8 week series exploring the mind and body connection in this restoration meditation practices. And this week we're going to be exploring the theme of being with the chaos. So this week I thought I would introduce you to the space behind the scenes of what it usually would probably be looking like, and how that we can find calm within our spaces. So I'm just going to quickly tidy, sweep, move things out of the way, but this knowing that sometimes when we look calm, there's chaos behind us, and sometimes when there's chaos around us, we can be calm underneath the surfaces. So so taking a moment to arrive and settle, and this is what I do pretty much every week. We are learning to weave these practices into our daily lives, and we, whilst we can perhaps go on retreat and take time away from our spaces, we live with people, we live in communities, and so this finding space within ourselves is what it's all about, taking this time to rest. So I'm just going to introduce some of the background behind today's session. You can see that lovely thing here in preview where it goes help here, apt. Okay, so we're looking at mind and body integration. And today we're exploring connection and connecting to our internal resources so that we're more present in our everyday life. So we're going to practice some exercises especially helpful when we need that extra grounding, when you anticipate that something might be challenging. So I'm going to give this as a home practice, but I'll introduce it now. So visualizing this exercise anytime you get stuck, you don't know the next intervention, the next thing to do, or to simply ground yourself in your well-being. So just taking a moment to have a think about who has given you unconditional support in your life and the qualities and strength you admire about that person. So just taking a moment to just bring somebody to mind. And then think of 3 or 5 more people whom you admire. They can be alive, or they can be from another time, they can be famous people. And again, thinking about the qualities that you admire about them. And as we're thinking about these people, I want you to consider or think about 3 aspects of yourself that you strive towards. You admire someone's grounded calmness, or want to be more like them. I'm kind of thinking about the embodying what it is about them, what it is that you would strive for. And now taking a moment to imagine that this group of people are behind you, supporting you. And noticing what happens in your breath and body as you imagine these people. With these qualities. For those of you who engaged in the Company We Keep meditation program, when we visualize these people, we're keeping company with them. They influence us. We influence each other. So in creating this sort of support team to be holding in our mind's eye in challenging times, this gives us a sense and a way of grounding in the present moment and embodying some of the qualities that we admire in them and that we can take forward with us into these challenging situations. So just taking a moment to notice if there's any physical markers within your body that you could notice as you hold these people in your mind's eye. I've automatically put a hand to my chest unintentionally. Sense of being held. You can perhaps lean back in your seat, feel supported, or feel grounded. The earth. This somatically grounds you. This mind and body connection. Your physical marker. You can bring this to your mind's eye in challenging moments, chaos. So again, we've been exploring emotional literacy, and today we're going to be exploring chaos, what we notice within our bodies when we consider a chaotic moment or even a messy drawer. So we don't need to be bringing anything too challenging within this space. You can think about the mess that's around me if you want. So by increasing our emotional literacy, we increase our ability to identify what's going on, drop into the body, notice the experiences here, and move into a space of calm around whatever experience that we're having, to live in the present moment and these small moments that make up our lives. Even the dull moments can bring us joy and delight. Okay. And then this I'll introduce at the end as another home practice. So now setting yourself up in a practice position if you haven't already. If you want to lie down, you're more than welcome to. The meditation and these mindful moments don't need to be necessarily in this formal position. So practicing as we are is an important way of teaching our body to find present moment awareness wherever we are. But this is the training. So taking a moment to arrive. Having a sense of having taken your seat. So to begin with, an invitation to bring your awareness to the sounds around you. What is your experience of sound? More on one side of the body than another? Noticing how the mind creates stories and fills in the gaps, creates pictures. As we step from doing into being, working out that grey matter. And dropping into the present moment through our experience of sounds as sounds. Noticing when the mind has wandered and returning our attention to our experience and the felt sensation of sounds as sounds. Remembering that there's no right or wrong way of doing these practices, and to take care of yourself. Listen and pay attention to your needs. And today the invitation is to use sounds as your anchor. We often use the breath or the body. And today we're going to practice using sound as our point of return when we've wandered off and got lost in those stories. And each time you've noticed, I want you to congratulate yourself, because this is the key to the practice. This is where we really lay down those foundations and those new neural pathways, really cement those pathways, so that when we're in difficulty, challenge or overwhelm, we can anchor and center ourselves in the present moment, allowing ourselves to pause before responding, step out of automatic pilot. Sounds as sounds. Now an invitation to narrow your awareness to your breath, following the flow of your breath as you breathe in and you breathe out, not changing its rhythm. And then expanding your awareness from the breath to include all of your body. And a moment to check in with your posture. Elongating that spine, pulling yourself up by the crown of your head. You can physically do that if that's helpful, sort of slightly tilting the head forward. Taking the weight of your head and just gently lifting, touching the back of the neck, the spine where it meets the skull, and just checking that it's not too far forward or curved too much. This body houses who we are, carries us around. We can often find ourselves in a clenched and hunched over position as it's a natural way of the body protecting itself. And just ensuring that your posture is upright, dignified as we sit and breathe in the space of our bodies. Breathing in and breathing out. French village life weaves its way into our practice. Breathing in and breathing out in this body, in this moment. In learning and practicing these techniques, we have an ability to choose how we respond to some of life's events. We can't choose what happens to us. But in settling, grounding in the present moment, we give ourselves an option and a choice of how we respond and react. So every now and then, an invitation to check in with your posture. Bring your awareness to your breath and your body, and anchoring in the present moment through our felt and direct experience of sound. You are, of course, welcome to use the breath or the body, being playful and curious and interested in your experience of what it is to be you today. So an invitation to bring into your mind's eye some chaos, maybe some mess, a messy drawer, a list of things that need doing, sorting, an unexpected piece of paperwork to fill in. The mess of my space behind this calm curtain. Don't need to pick anything too tricky or too challenging. Bringing a bit of mess into our mind's eye. And then an invitation to drop into your experience of this within the body. What do you notice? Where are the sensations? Is it in one place? Is it in a few spots? Perhaps noticing an urge to want to fix things or change things or wish things to be different. The frustration, the annoyance. Perhaps a sense of things getting in the way. What exactly is it? Where is it? Does it have a shape, a colour, a texture? Is it light? Is it heavy? Cold? Hot? Pulsing? Stabbing? You don't need to go right into the centre of the sensations. You can rest around the edges, exploring where they end. Being curious and bringing kind attention and awareness to the experience of your body. This body that houses our experiences. Our humanity. That niggling thing on our to-do list that never seems to get done because something always crops up. The drawer that gets filled with junk. The bits and pieces that get left behind, forgotten, gathering dust. Creating some space for your experience and to notice what the body goes through as we bring this chaos into our mind's eye, this mess, this disorder, this lifiness of life. These things often beyond our control. It causes stress. But what is that within your body? Bringing a kind, open, tender, soft, and an invitation to soften around your experience. Perhaps bringing in the support team, people that we brought to mind earlier, people whose qualities we admire, imagining them behind us. Perhaps using the breath. That doesn't feel right for you. We can use the breath here to breathe around our experience, perhaps giving a sense of spaciousness. We don't need to breathe right into the center of it. We can rest around the edges. Identifying this physical space, this area. This marker. Anchoring in the present moment through our felt and direct experience of being with a bit of disorder, chaos, mess. And then an invitation to place your hand over the spot that's perhaps most present. This releases oxytocin. This physical touch soothes, calms. Lets the body move into a state of safety. This parasympathetic nervous system, rest and digest ability of the body, where it can heal and repair, take care of us. But stress and challenge and difficulties are a normal part of our human experience. We also have the parasympathetic nervous system to counterbalance the yin and the yang. We need both. And having a sense of softening, soothing. And then moving your hand back to your resting position if you haven't already. And now an invitation to move your awareness to your experience of sounds as it sounds. So widening the lens of your focus as we hone in and hone out what it is to be us. Checking in with your posture. Perhaps checking that you haven't furrowed your brow or clenched your jaw, your shoulders aren't up by your ears. Breathing in and breathing out in this body. And now an invitation to bring your awareness to your experience of thoughts as thoughts. So in this instance, we might picture clouds passing in the sky, our thoughts popping in and popping out. or standing behind a waterfall as the thoughts pass by. We don't need to stick our head right in and get drenched and cold. We can observe them passing, like watching adverts, television show. Those 15-second stories on social media that pop in and pop out, random. What is your felt and direct experience of observing thoughts and thought as thoughts? What do you notice in your body? Each time your mind has wandered, got lost in the story, you can return yourself to anchoring in the sounds around you, or of course the breath or the body. Thoughts as thoughts. Observing your direct and felt and physical experience of what's communicated to your body, this information, sensations and colours and textures, shapes and movements, integrating our experience. That the mind and body are integrated and not separate. And now an invitation to move your awareness away from thoughts to emotion. What emotion can you notice in your body right now? You might find a label. Calm, distracted, bored, sad, joyful, content. And then dropping into what exactly that is. If you had to draw it or describe it to an alien, what would you say? Where would it be? Would you draw a picture? Would you show an object? Is it like a stone or jelly, or does it have a colour? Is it solid? Maybe it's like a gas or a marshmallow. Being playful and curious about what it is to be you and your experience of this emotion, stepping away from the story behind it and grounding in the present moment through the sensations that you're observing. That what your body experiences is as much a part of the story as what's happening in your mind. Taking you with your posture, forehead, your jaw, your shoulders. Breathing through the nose. Now an invitation to move into a period of choiceless awareness, so allowing yourself to go where you want to go. You may want to bring your attention to your breath, sensations in your body. You may want to look back at that shopping list or think about that messy drawer. Having a sense of release, like letting a dog off the lead or child into a play park. Dance floor when a tune comes on that you like. Just go for it. Go where you want to go. Now an invitation to narrow your awareness to your breath. Following the flow of your breath as you breathe in and you breathe out. And then expanding your awareness from the breath to include all of the body. Old Geezer by A.R. Ammons. The quickest way to change the world is to like it the way it is. So moving and stretching in whatever way your body might have been asking you to do, you perhaps ignored within that practice. And we're going to move into taking tea together. Just going to move some washing. Bring in the stool. And I have prepared an infusion for us today called Relax. This isn't one I picked myself this time, and it has verveine, cinnamon and pine. It's an invitation to have a think about or journal around your support team, who they are, who they could be, the qualities that you admire in them, and then that physical marker. So I'm going to pause the recording for those of you at home, everybody's, those of you practicing in your own time, an invitation to reflect a little bit longer on those questions or your experience of the practice. Of course, if anything came up, do reach out, and then we'll move into the home practice. So pause. Okay, so let's move into the home practice for this week. So I'm going to just take a moment to we'll just go through this together. So this can be done standing, sitting, lying down. It's kind of like the 3-minute breathing space, so doing it whenever you need. So noticing and checking in if you are tired, irritated, feeling disconnected from your sense of joy or flow. Are you emotionally unsettled? Are you sensory overloaded? And maybe you're rehashing recent events, interactions, situations, not feeling in your body. Maybe there's resistance to doing the next task, the next thing, this never-ending list of things that we have to do, that life is lifey, and it will never all get done. There will always be something. And within my own experience, even when I was at my most tidy and organized and minimalist, it was really a long time ago, a few years ago, everything looked really tidy on the outside, but internally that was when I was at my most chaotic internally. So allowing space for a bit of mess wherever, internally, externally, allowing ourselves to be as we are and dropping into the body, and considering that physical marker that we have, that we talked about at the beginning, and our support team. So we're then taking a breath and we're saying, it's okay, it's a rough day, this will pass, I now need to come back to my body. So let's give it a go. So what do you feel right now in the body? Heavy, light, frustrated, irritated, busy, sad, disappointed, whatever. What are you feeling? Where is it? Shape, colour, textures, movements. So feeling whatever is here in your body, your little label for it, saying to yourself, I'm letting go. Allowing and letting go. Softening into your experience. And grounding. Grounding into the body or the breath or sounds, as we did in the practice. Grounding into that physical marker. That this will pass. Let's close with that poem one more time. It's very quick. Old Geezer by A.R. Ammons. The quickest way to change the world is to like it the way it is. So as best you can, taking this sense of connection and awareness into whatever you have left to do with your day. All of those resources will be available on the website. Thank you so much for joining me. Look forward to seeing you for the next session.